Hi and welcome to Candyfloss Crochet. So today I'm going to show you how to do a Russian knot. So I've got a couple of examples here. This is a magic knot, and as you can see you have a definite knot in the middle between my two yarns, and this is a Russian knot. As you can see on this one, there's no knot as such, but what it does tend to do is make the yarn thicker because you're effectively weaving the yarn back on itself, so it gives it a thicker appearance. So it depends on what you're looking for in your work. If a knot is going to be really prominent, or it's going to fall in a very prominent place, you might want to look at doing a Russian knot, but as I said, it makes the yarn a little bit thicker, so that stitch will come out a little bit thicker. So pick the one that suits you best. I've got a video tutorial for the magic knot, which I'll put a link in the description box below, and let's just quickly show you how to do the Russian knot. So just move those out the way. You'll need your scissors, and you need a darning needle with a big enough eye on it to take the yarn weight that you are using. And I am going to demonstrate with two different colour strands just so it makes it a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. Generally, when you're doing a magic knot or a Russian knot, you're probably joining a yarn of the same colour. So this is just so that it's a little bit easier. So take your yarn, so assuming one will be attached to your work and the other one will be attached to the new ball of yarn, make them into two loops, and you're just going to pass one through the other. So you're effectively just looping them together like that. And what you need to do is, let's say this one's going to be our tail end and this one's going to be a tail end. You need to weave these in on themselves. So you're going to weave this end through this strand that's attached to my ball, and you're going to weave this end to this strand which is attached to my work. Okay, so I've just looped them in together, and I'm going to get my needle, and hopefully I have got my glasses on today, so hopefully I'll be able to see what I'm doing. Thread the end, which it doesn't matter which one you start with, they're both going to be the same. Thread your end through. Gosh, this is a very thick yarn. And then where your loop is, try and get as close to that loop as possible and go into the yarn that you actually got on your needle back in here. And what you're trying to do, picking up that yarn as close to the loop as possible and try and get your needle into the middle, right into the middle of that yarn. Just keep pushing it on. Just gently push it on. The more you get on there, the better. Try not to let your needle poke through, try and get it in the middle. Now if you're using a really fine yarn, so anything smaller than a DK, you'll probably find this almost impossible to do because it'd just be a few threads, especially something like a 4-ply. It'd be really hard, so you might want to use a magic knot technique. So the more you get on there, the further you're going to take that strand along there. So I've got more or less my whole needle on there now, and you're just going to pull it through. So this takes a little bit of wiggling because it all bunches up at the end. And you just got to slowly work it off the needle. There you go, it's going now, look. So you can see that it's pulling through, and it takes a little bit of working because you've got that end that you're pulling through as well. So pull it through until that end comes out. You can then remove your needle and straighten that bunched up yarn. So pull it, gently pull it through. So that yarn now is flattening out as I pull the threads through, and I've got my end here. So I'm going to leave that for now. This end will be attached to my work. And as you can see, I've got a thicker one, and that is now securely attached to my green yarn here. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I've got my end, my green end. I'm going to thread that needle on here, thread the yarn on the needle even. And I can't even do that today, look. Okay, let's get that one on there. And then taking right as close to this join here, I'm going to do exactly what we did. And apologies, I'm left-handed, so people probably, you're watching this thinking, oh, that looks awkward. I do apologise. For those that are left-handed, yay for the left-handed ones. Although I do crochet right-handed, which just makes it very confusing. Now this yarn on this side, although they're the same weight, It's different brands, different thickness, so it's harder to get my needle right into the middle of it, but it's still going on there. I'm just working all the way along, as you can see, bunching it up as I go. The further down you go, the stronger the join will be. Right, I'm happy with that now. So I'm just going to ease that one off all the way through. I'm going to pull my end through. And when you get to this bit, you might find that the end doesn't want to come through, so you might have to give it a little tug. You can take your needle off now, and you can straighten that one out like you did with the other side, just pulling it out as far as it will go. Give it a nice tug, making sure those ends are in. Now that end's weaved in quite nicely, but this end, as you can see, I've got a little bit left. I'm just going to snip that bit off so that you can't see it in my work. And that is a Russian knot. So as you can see, the point of join is really almost invisible. So if you were using the same coloured yarn, you wouldn't see where the knot is, where the join is. But what you can see is for the length where I weaved it in, this part here is a lot thicker, if I just bend that round, than the rest of the yarn. So that stitch, wherever you are on your work, will look a little bit fatter, and that might not notice. It just depends on what you're working on. But that is a Russian knot. So I hope that has helped. I hope that's quite straightforward and you've enjoyed this tutorial. As I said, check out the magic knot, which I've also got on there, as I put a link in below. And please, if you do like watching my videos, take the time to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.